personality, the cult of personality, the cult of personality.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your local Red Reviewer, and once again, MEM Basis has decided to show me just how much he cares about my mental sanity by making me watch My Cousin Skeeter. This beautiful little show ran from the late 90s into the early 2000s and had 3 seasons. That's right, 3 seasons of a black puppet that could have just been a person. And quite frankly, Skeeter scares the living shit out of me just because he looks so damn freaky. I don't know, but with 52 episodes, I figured, like always, the very first episode would have to be the piece de resistance, because it would be the most concentrated load that I could dive into. So without further ado, let's see what My Cousin Skeeter has to offer.
You ever have one of those days when nothing seems to go your way?
Okay, well, clearly I'm just going to watch whatever this is, but let's go and see.
When my parents and I moved
Okay,
from LA to New York,
so we've got
they said I'd love it here.
this middle-class white, no, he's not white. So basically we've got this middle-class black kid who has to take summer school in New York City because he failed algebra in California. And my first question is, how do you not pass algebra? Algebra is like the most basic of maths. It's like the one that they should start teaching kindergartners, but I digress. Anyway, he finds out about his cousin Skeeter, who, as we'll find out in a minute, is the Sesame Street character who was going to teach you calculus once you got into college.
Hey, son,
not only that, but as a person who's related to the Cookie Monster, he likes to eat just about everything in sight.
Okay.
Also, because of his social skills and that touch of class which comes from belching extremely loudly in people's faces, he knows every fucking buddy. Like the guy who invented fire, Genghis Khan, Adolf Hitler. Yes, that's right, I said Adolf Hitler. Joseph Stalin, Pol Pot. Hell, he even knows Abraham Lincoln before he liked the slaves.
You wouldn't have to be tutored.
Quick little hinty hint on that one. He also got to sign the Emancipation Proclamation, but I digress. As we go on through this show, you'll start to notice that there are certain characters like the love interest who kind of grate on your nerves because it's like, hey guys, we could either make a really good character, or I've got a great idea. We could use a stereotype. Which do you prefer? Well, there are corporate executives. Let's see what the charts say. Charts say stereotypes. Go for stereotype number 36. You mean the girlfriend who just goes on and on about random stuff? Exactly.
But I'm gonna be living with him.
You're a shitty human being. And that's why you write the biggest damn checks around. Hey, I guess this show isn't all bad despite my bitching and moaning. I mean, if you look at it closely, you notice that the female characters are actually pretty strong in comparison to the male characters, which is something you do not see very often in most sitcoms out there.
I'm sure he's got his own way of doing it.
And while I didn't get to dive any deeper than the first episode, I will say this about Cousin Skeeter. He has a charm that comes from being like a celebrity, so I feel like he should have probably been replaced with someone a lot better, like Eddie Griffin.
And I'm
Now
going
there
to
was a
anything
man with
West
some
End.
class,
And
or
don't
maybe
take the
or maybe
scenic route.
Cat Williams. Just imagine that. My Cousin Cat. That show would have been awesome, Nickelodeon. Andrew Murphy patented, Red Reviewer approved. Go for green. Go for green on that shit. Okay, this show only ran 3 seasons, and the only reason that I can think of that it could have gotten canceled, because honestly, it wasn't that bad as far as like the premise goes. It's like you've got a, oddly enough, middle upper class family in New York City who just so happens to be black, running around and doing all of the regular shenanigans. And then you've got this freaky ass fucking puppet from Atlanta. Why couldn't he be the freaky ass fucking cousin who's an actual human being from Atlanta? I will never know. But his voice is grating. He's weird looking, and I don't, where it's like, oh, look at Skeeter. He's so quirky, yet if you just saying is true, like, he has a black belt in karate despite the fact he's a fucking puppet. And, oh, did you know that he's known every famous person known to man? Yep, the guy who invented fire. For making fire, my man. Everybody is happy for you. What's his name? Lawrence Fishburne had his character die on Apocalypse Now. He was there to be like, hey, that was some excellent shit. Just wait until you're Morpheus. And he was like, the fuck are you talking about? And it's like, shh, 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 shh. It's okay. It's okay. He'll be the coolest character in the Plato's Allegory of the Cave that anyone has ever seen. It'll be awesome. So yeah, for me, the only reason this show got canceled was because they had a fucking puppet instead of an actual human being playing this character. If you don't understand where I'm going with this, just watch the show. I mean, like, literally. The dad is goofy. The mom is like, oh, I know everything. The dude has a love interest, and he's just kind of there. What more do you want from a 90s sitcom? Answer me. Answer me, Internet. You know what you're looking for. Oh, if the show were to come back, you say, like, you know, maybe if they were to want to reboot it. Let's see here. Well, I mean, they're going for diversity, so might as well make the entire neighborhood black. Oh, let's see. What else could we do? We could maybe throw in, instead of your typical 90s male protagonist, a female protagonist, and it could show more of her antics at school and how she dealt with life. What else? Oh, and so that they could throw in the random slapstick with, like, Cousin Skeeter being a puppet and all that. Maybe they could make it animated. Wait a minute. That instead. Mary or MEM Basis is going to bust my balls over this. Seriously, that show did it better. There's a reason more people remember the Proud Family as opposed to My Cousin Skeeter. And according to Wikipedia, I'm getting the name wrong, but at this point in time, I have become committed to that name, so he's going to continue to be My Cousin Skeeter. My Cousin Skeeter. Let's move on and actually see what this show has to offer children and apparently young adults who are prepubescent. This show is not getting another season, but if it did, it would be the Proud Family. That's all I have to say about that. Until the next time MEM Bassist decides, hey buddy, I found this show. You want to try it out? And I'm like, I don't know. The last time you sold me that bad bag of weed, I was tripping and thinking that someone had a puppet for a cousin for a week. And he'll be like, yeah, it's nothing like that. I'll smoke that weed and be here to talk to you kids about it later. Or just in general, I'll be here next week to discuss another Nicktoon that probably no one has heard about, except for you, Internet. You know what's up. That was a terrible take.